Right, is everybody here? I think we've lost somebody.
Oh yeah, we lost a while back this old woman lady with them.
Okay, we don't lose anybody, they lose us.
Yeah, they lose us, right.
Right, this is the last stop. Now, the few things to talk about here. The first thing is this, but we're obviously too close to see it. But it's so noisy over the road there. What I suggest is when you leave me, just cross the road and look back. Now what this is Christchurch, Spitalfields. Now in the early 18th century it was decided we didn't have enough churches here in London, and a grant was made in Queen Anne's name to build 50. 50 were never built, but this is one of the churches that was built under that scheme, and it was designed by Nicholas Hawksmoor. Hawksmoor was a pupil of Christopher Wren's, he of St Paul's Cathedral fame. Now Wren and Hawksmoor weren't really architects in the way we understand the term, and they didn't have a great understanding of foundations. Back in the 1920s, the City of London was carrying out a survey on St Paul's Cathedral, and they found the whole lot was sinking into Ludgate Hill. And the City Corporation did condemn St Paul's unless something was done about the foundations. And they must have done a good job because it withstood the Second World War. Now this church took a direct hit during the war, and they were going to clear the site, but there was such a lot of local opposition they decided to restore the church, but then for nearly 50 years afterwards had trouble with the foundations. They finally got it right about 6 years ago, 7 years ago maybe, when they eventually redecorate the interior. Now across the road there is Spitalfields Market. There's been a market on that site for centuries. That building was built in the 1880s, and it was built as a wholesale fruit and vegetable market. Now if you'd have been round here only 20 years ago, every shop in this area was selling fruit, vegetables, flowers. The farmers used to come in from all over Europe with their produce in the early hours of the morning, then the greengrocers would come to stock up for their shops. The pubs in this area used to have a special licence, so they could stay open through the night for the market workers, closing down at 6 o'clock in the morning after breakfast. One thing that outlived the market, which was very handy, was the Market Cafe across the road. You can just see the outline of the name above the window. They used to open at 10 o'clock every night and close down at 10 o'clock next morning. Very handy when you're in a job like mine where you can finish a tour any time of the day and night. Well, in 1990, Spitalfields Market moved to a new site further east at Leighton or Stratford. In fact, the Olympic site is right next door to the new Spitalfields Market, and they reckon the new Spitalfields is the largest wholesale fruit and vegetable market in Europe. That has now become a public market, selling everything from furniture, clothes, books, jewellery, records, food. It's a really busy market. It's open every day except Saturday. That's a leftover when this was a Jewish neighbourhood. Everything's still closed on Saturday and open Sunday, but Sunday is the best day over there. Right, we start with Jack the Ripper. We start with Jack the Ripper. Do you want to end with Jack the Ripper? Nobody's kid. His fifth and final victim, Mary Jane Kelly. The youngest of the victims, the only one to have her own room. Now Mary used to find her clients round the corner on the main road there, and she was the youngest of the victims. She was only 25 years old, described as being a good-looking woman with long red hair. When she found a client, she would take him in a 10 Bells pub for a drink, and then she would take him home. Now in those days the pubs used to close when the last person left. So it's well after midnight on the 9th of November 1888, Mary Jane Kelly left the 10 Bells pub with a client. Perhaps as a killer, she was never seen alive again. They walked along Commercial Street here, crossed the road into a street called Dorset Street. There's a car park on Dorset Street today. A little way along Dorset Street on the right was an archway. Through the archway into a yard, and round that yard were one-room dwellings on different levels. Mary lived at street level in one of those rooms. An entrance to her room was from the yard. It is on record her door lock was broken, and how she used to get into her room, she broke one of the small windows next to the front door. She used to put her arm through the broken window and open the door from the inside. Well, later that morning the rent collector came. He banged on Mary's door, he got no reply. He banged again he got no reply. He put his hand through that broken window and he moved the curtain. The scene that confronted him stayed with him till the day he died. Mary's body was lying on her own bed, legs apart. Her left leg had been stripped of skin right down to the bone. Her throat was cut right through. All that was holding her head to her body was a bit of skin at the back. Her nose, her ears, her breasts had been sliced off, and that was all dumped on the bedside table. And from the picture rail around the room was hanging Mary's intestines. I think on that note we'll leave it, eh?
Thank you.
I hope you've enjoyed this tour. I hope you found it informative, entertaining. Enjoyed it. Well, I know you're from this country, but everybody enjoy the rest of your time here. Of course, everybody have a safe journey home. Now, to get away from here,